How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new Do Not Worry stream. I'm your host, Anthony, coming to you from the heart of Lebanon in the 09. It is 11:04 p.m. right here. We hanging out. We did 2 live streams today. Actually, I did a stream earlier on, if you guys are subscribed to Tino's Playroom, my other channel. We had a pretty fun time building a nice little Lego set. Look at that. The Lego Botanicals Woodland Mushrooms, folks. Look at that. Demi and I spent like a couple hours. Look at this beautiful set. Oh, but sweet, yeah.
No, it's like this.
Isn't that so beautiful?
Extra pieces.
We added a few more mushrooms. Look at that. So if you guys like Lego, if you guys like video games,
So I'm a bit confused.
if you guys like following up on the Reckless Ben drama, I'm doing live streams covering all of that, reacting to the latest videos, etc., etc. Consider subscribing to Tino's Playroom. Channel's growing, the community's growing, the views be growing. Don't be left out. Don't be left out. Oh, sorry, you can't even see me. Subscribe to the channel. Critics are calling unbelievable. A must-watch on YouTube, says everyone, says Variety. Scotty Paw, Spooky Boy, Bobek, hello. Musicaholics, Sarah, North Star Radio, hello. Haley, hello, everybody. Hidden Iron, hope you guys are doing good. She's a reporter, guys. She's a journalist / reporter. She's been a reporter for years, war reporter. Christiane Amanpour. She interviewed the Lebanese president. We're going to be talking about that. I'm going to be reacting to that interview. Israel's back to bombing Beirut. They've been bombing Lebanon since, for months now. There's been no ceasefire in all of Lebanon. They're bombing the living shit out of southern Lebanon. We're going to talk about everything. It's kind of a cluster F. Always fun to deal with. First, let me take a second to thank our lovely YouTube members, folks. We have a goal. I have humbled my goal, folks. 1,000 members is insane. 500 members. Our lovely Do Not Warriors, folks. We have how many of those beautiful motherfuckers? 349 lovely members who get exclusive content, folks. Zenith Star, Honk Big, several wolves, not one, not two, several. Mal.ware. Michaela Makes. Also. Kueli, Fultang 1. Hello. Thank you for being members. Doodles Hearts, Narwhal by Nature. Thank you so much for being a member and supporting the channel. We cannot do this without our members, without our patrons. You guys are the best. .11, B Flat Symphony, and Brenopes. We appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for being members. Whether you've been gifted your membership, whether you've been paying for your membership for 13 months or 12 months, we appreciate you. We love you. Let me thank some members in the live chat like Shadi21, Haley, Briarleaf, B Flat Symphony. Let's go. There you are. Dried Coconut. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Members get exclusive content. There's going to be a very fun live stream sometime this week. Stay tuned. Also, our patrons, I know you guys have been waiting for Nour and Karine to deliver the reading of this novel. Morning Glory Milking Farm. I have an update. I cannot guarantee an episode will be ready before I have to leave the country. So I have taken the difficult decision to read the book myself for patrons. Patrons, I've asked for the file. I am going to be recording until Nour and Karine are ready. I'm not going to rush them, okay? I'm going to read this motherfucker. I'm going to read Morning Glory Milking Farm for patrons, okay? It's the story of this lady who works at a pharmaceutical company, and her job is to milk minotaurs because their milk contains the answer to everlasting life or whatever fucking medication they're working on, okay? So this is now my responsibility. Nour and Karine have not delivered on time. I'm not trying to shame them or anything. They're busy, okay? They got shit to get done. But my patrons can't wait no more, okay? So Morning Glory Milking Farm is now my responsibility until further notice. I'm sorry for those of you who are disappointed who wanted something else. I didn't want to read this book, but it's been promised for so long, and I got to deliver. So it's going to be another kind of video for patrons, okay? You're welcome, guys. So you want to, that's not for members. Members might get a little 5-minute clip exclusive for members, but this is going to be for patrons. So you guys want to watch me read Morning Glory Milking Farm? Subscribe to our Patreon, okay? Let me show you that one more time, just to know what you're getting into. This, me reading this, Patreon, support us. IDF kills children, folks. I was just gifted 1 membership. IDF kills children. Thank you. Not for killing children, but thank you for gifting a membership. Insane. You're nuts. You're nuts. How has YouTube allowed your username, which I celebrate? Bobek, congrats. You got gifted a membership. Let's go. IKC, I like that. Hey, the IKC. Let's go. IKC, thank you. We appreciate you. Delicious water. Let's go. IDF, thank you so much, IDF. I'm kidding, folks. You know what I mean. Okay. Our patrons, you gonna get me reading some Minotaur milking. Hope you're ready. I'm sorry in advance. So members, we love you. Patrons, let me thank you. Iliad Mujabir, our God-tier patron. Superhero patrons like Legal and Lipstick, Pee-wee Hernan, Bonnie Buns, Muhammad Mruwe. Blonde patrons like Ahmed Al Salim, Katie did ASMR, Kaja Jorf, Haley Davis, Haifa and Hiba, and abductee patrons like Rachel, Monica Jade, Yip McYip, Polish Pusher, Burp Reynolds, Jess Polito. Let's go. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. We can't do this without you. Patrons, look forward to that dirty video. And as I said, consider subscribing to Tino's Playroom. I'm doing a lot of live streams on there, so... Oh, Raimi says, hey, Anthony, I'm starting my boxing classes this week, inspired by you, my friend. Let's go. There we go. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Be careful. Don't spar. Don't spar unless you're ready. And unless you plan on fighting and stuff, don't spar too much. Look out for that head trauma, needless punches to the head. None of that's necessary. Just hit the bag, do some pad work with your coach. If you do want to spar, do some light sparring to test yourself. Don't get hurt, man. Unless you plan on competing and stuff, then you're going to have to spar to get used to it, you know? But just be careful. And enjoy. It's going to be great. It's going to be life-changing. McG, hello, hello. How's it going? Okay, let's... enough for self-promotion. Oh, I didn't open a single link, by the way, of the stuff I needed to open. Sorry. I didn't do much. My mind's not been with me, folks. My mind's telling me no. I've just been busy. And doing 2 streams a day sometimes, you know? But yeah, like I was saying, subscribe to Tino's Playroom because I am spending a lot of time there. So if you guys do want more content, sometimes I'm doing 2 streams a day, 1 here, 1 on that channel. Sarah is excited to build a Dungeons and Dragons. Sarah, it was very nice meeting you yesterday. It was a pleasure. At the Cosmic Studios Flash Tattoo event and flea market. Okay, yeah, no, 1 second. I'm just getting this stuff ready for you guys, folks. My bad. I didn't prep. How's everyone doing? What's everyone up to right now? My mind. Okay. Let's see what's going on. All right.
Okay, I want to bring in Nider Ibrahim now. Who...
Mr. Ibrahim. Okay, Iran. Just opening up what I need to open up. You guys know how it goes here. That's what happens when you rush into a stream. I mean, I didn't rush. It took my time, but like, you know.
Israel has attacked the southern suburbs of Lebanon. DemocracyNow.org.
Ladies, please, one at a time. My mind's telling me no.
President Aoun, thank you so much for being with us.
Now, he rarely speaks with foreign media.
But my body is telling me yeah.
Let's now speak to Ronnie Chata, a political analyst and the host.
Baby. Now I don't want to hurt nobody. All right, let's go. Chris says, Anthony gave me a free cookie. Look, yeah, sahtain, yeah, Chris, sahtain. Raimi says, I like the Lego with you and Demi, very chill. I'm glad. Hey, just spend some money at breaking.com. We'll keep them Lego sets coming, y'all. All right. Iran. Let's talk about Iran a little bit. Iran and Israel getting back into it and everything. Whatever involves Iran and Israel involves Lebanon indirectly or directly. Okay, Iran hits Israel. Israel responds by, we're going to bomb Lebanon. It's like, okay. You know, can we get a break? Can we get a break? So yesterday, we got word that Iran hit Israel and that Israel was going to respond to Iran. And Beirut was hit yesterday as well. So it's all happening. It's all happening. Let's watch. So breaking Israeli army says missiles fired from Iran towards Israel. Let's have some fun. What's going on?
Who joins us now on the phone. She's in the occupied West Bank. So, Nita, what exactly do we know about these incoming missiles fired from Iran toward your direction?
Well, according to the Israeli army, just 7 minutes ago, they said that they were getting ready to sound the sirens because of Iranian-fired missiles into towns in northern Israel. And soon enough, the alarms, the early sirens have blasted off after these missile attack has been detected coming in from Iran. And just in the past few minutes, we heard these sirens sound off, with them being focused on the northern Israeli areas. This is in response to a threat that Iran has made, indeed, saying that if Israel strikes Ad-Dahiya, the southern suburb of Beirut, then they are willing to shoot and fire missiles into Israel. And as we've been saying, Israel has been trying to derail any talks related to reaching a deal between Iran and the U.S. It's been trying to instigate a situation where it wants to get the war back again. As far as the Israeli army's radio, I'm reading now from a security and a military source, saying that witnesses have seen a direct hit of a building in Tiberias, that's in the northern Israeli area. So we are still monitoring to see what kind of damage has been incurred, what kind of rocket attack Iran is indeed launching into Israel. The estimate inside Israel is that Iran was going to launch rockets into Israel, but they were not sure of the scale, they were not sure of the timing. But at the same time, we are reading certain security assessments saying that even if they do that, the response...
One second, just the visuals. Just that static shot? Are you kidding me?
We begin tonight with a new wave of attacks in the Middle East as the war between the U.S. and Iran reaches the bleak milestone.
Sorry, guys. They just had a shot of some buildings and you had a lady talking on the phone?
Of 100 days. These Iranian missiles were seen in the sky over Israel. It's the first time Tehran has launched strikes against Israel since that fragile ceasefire started back in April. Those strikes come after Lebanon's capital city of Beirut was targeted by Israeli strikes.
Guys, if you're watching live, make sure to like the stream, hop in the live chat, say hello, subscribe to the channel.
Israeli forces say they were targeting Hezbollah militants. Israel is now vowing retaliation. The security minister quoted as saying, "Tonight, Tehran must burn." How President Trump is responding. ABC's Tom Suvi Burge leads us off from Jerusalem tonight.
Tonight, on day 100 of the war with Iran, the ceasefire cracking as Iran launches its first missile attacks on Israel in almost 2 months. Iran firing multiple waves of ballistic missiles at northern Israel. An Israeli security source saying at least 10 Iranian missiles were intercepted. There are no reports anyone was killed or injured in the attack.
So I mean, it seems like word is that Iran is doing this. Iran has targeted Israel because Israel has continued to target Lebanon and has targeted Beirut. So Iran is retaliating in defense of Lebanon and in order to be like, hey, what the fuck? We said that the ceasefire should include Lebanon. You can't keep doing this. So this is Iran firmly planting, their flag in the, Lebanese soil, I guess, which is, listen, at this point, guys, we just want this to end. You know what I'm saying? So when Israel's response to getting hit by Iran is to bomb Lebanon even more, I don't know how much I'm cheering on Iran to, like, at this point, you know what I mean? Like, who loves Israel here? We don't. But it's like, when Israel's getting bombed and then the result is us getting bombed, it's kind of not fair. Kind of sucks. You know what I mean? And also, the people in Gaza, like, they shut off. That's what Israel fucking does. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Iran bombs Israel, they shut off access to aid and food to Palestinians in Gaza, which is what they just did. And they start bombing Lebanon. They start bombing two people that have nothing to do with the situation, but they consider them Iran's proxies, Hamas and Hezbollah, and then they lump in the whole population in with them, and that's what kind of happens. So it makes you feel really torn as someone who's like, I mean, not torn. I know what's right in my heart and in my mind, but it just go like, you're pro-resistance, you're anti-Israel, But sometimes you just want people to be able to run their business. You want people to be able to just like live their lives. And it seems like endless. There's no end to this in sight. So like how long are we expected to watch people die, watch people lose their homes, watch our land get taken by the Israelis? How long can we sit back and watch them do this, knowing that there's nothing that we can really do to stop it, you know, except some kind of diplomatic deal, some kind of agreement, some kind of ceasefire agreement, because it's never going to end with Hezbollah successfully defeating the IDF. That's never going to happen. The best Hezbollah can do is like deter them, make it kind of a pain in the ass for them to be in Lebanon, you know, make it too costly for them to invade and to permanently occupy, so that they decide to leave. But in the process, that costs many lives, Lebanese lives, you know. It's Lebanon that's getting hit. It's Beirut that's getting hit. It's Lebanese lives that are being lost. Not even like, I'm not saying it should be Iran, but like if Iran is bombing Israel, shouldn't the response be in Iran? But no, they bomb Lebanon and they bomb the south and they take more of the south. It's just exhausting. He does look like Kevin O'Leary, right?
Iran retaliating against Israeli strikes earlier today on the Lebanese capital, Beirut. The IDF saying it targeted Iranian-backed Hezbollah in the south of the city just hours after the militant group fired projectiles into...
Yeah, they've destroyed like 20% of our country. The whole south is destroyed, like whether Hezbollah's there or not. They're just doing Gaza again. They're doing Gaza.
Northern Israel. Tonight, in a phone call with Fox News, President Trump reacting to Iran's attack on Israel, reportedly saying, quote, "What I would suggest to Iran, you've shot your missiles. That's enough. Get back to the table and make a deal." And in another call tonight, Trump reportedly telling Axios he was about to phone Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and tell him not to retaliate by attacking Iran. But in a sign of the pressure Netanyahu will now face...
Trump really fucking wants to end this. It's the Israelis that don't want to end this. They constantly need to be at war. They constantly need someone to be defending themselves against.
Domestically and from within his own government, his far-right security minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, posting in Hebrew on X, "Tonight, Tehran must burn." The Iranian attacks on Israel coming after the US military and Iran exchanged volleys of fire this weekend near to the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM saying it struck Iranian radar sites Saturday after it intercepted Iranian drones which were threatening ships. Iran then firing missiles at US allies, Kuwait and Bahrain.
And Tom joins us now live from Jerusalem. Tom, after Iran's attack on Israel, President Trump reportedly planned to speak on the phone with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. What more can you tell us about that call?
Yeah, Lindsay, just days ago, President Trump telling Netanyahu not to strike Beirut after Iran threatened to pull out of talks. Now, earlier tonight, before reports of a fresh phone call between the two leaders, an Israeli official telling us they did plan to retaliate against Iran.
Comrade Casey in the chat. W's says the only people that can truly stop this back and forth are the Americans. We started it. We're doing it. We have to end it. It has to be the Americans. I agree. You hold the power. Trump holds the power, unfortunately.
Key questions now. Did Trump tell Netanyahu not to? And what will be the Israeli response? Lindsay?
The world is all waiting and watching for that, Tom. Thank you.
God damn. So, yeah, this is crazy to me. So this is what Israel's response is to being hit by Iran. Israel has closed all crossings into Gaza and halted the entry of humanitarian aid following Iran's retaliatory strikes on Israel, cutting off supplies to roughly 2 million Palestinians in the territory. Israel has imposed similar blanket closures during previous periods of regional escalation, including immediately after the outbreak of war in late February, collectively punishing Gaza's civil population. Isn't that fucking insane, dude? I'm just going to go quickly fill up a little bit of water. What's next up here? Here, let's watch some of this.
Israel has attacked the southern suburbs of Lebanon's capital, Beirut. Multiple explosions have been heard. This is the latest footage from the attack, with early reports indicating a multi-story building has been hit. The army targeted Dahir, an area known for being a Hezbollah stronghold. Israel's defense minister says the strikes were in response to Hezbollah firing on Israeli territory. US President Donald Trump had previously told Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that attacking Beirut would not be acceptable. Israel has also continued to carry out attacks on the south of the country. This is the latest video footage from Nabatea. Earlier, Israel issued new forced displacement orders for residents in and around the Lebanese city of Tyre. We're going to go to our correspondent in Tyre in southern Lebanon in just a moment. But first, let's go to Beirut, where Ali Hashim is standing by for us. Ali, tell us what has been going on.
Oh, sorry about that. I like this guy. Okay. Sorry about that. Quick update. So this is Israel attacking Tehran. So they did respond, despite, I guess, Trump asking them not to. It's not like they give a shit. So that happened. Lovely. Jumping to Lebanon real quick, because I just want to... the Iran situation is the overarching one, but I just want to talk about Lebanon a little bit, because it's just been kind of crazy, and I feel like I haven't commented on this in a couple of days. I'll talk about this later. First, Israel dropped a bomb on Muna's home in Mansouri, South Lebanon today. Muna is not a fighter. She's an environmental activist who dedicated her life to protecting endangered sea turtles. Because of Israel, Muna is now fighting for her life in a hospital bed. Another sea... So again, this is the Hezbollah that Israel is supposedly targeting in South Lebanon. Trying to find if there's a video, like some kind of news report. There isn't. Terrible. Look at this lady, dude. She's still alive, so prayers up. This is an Israeli soldier in Lebanon, 1985.
Have any... I know I'm not dealing here with human beings. I saw them. They are all terrorists, and they don't have any human feelings. So I cannot deal with those men how I would have dealt with other soldiers or something like this. Those are not soldiers; they are terrorists.
Why do you say they're not human beings? Because I mean, they do live here, don't they?
Our beloved neighbors who have been wanting to get involved and invade and occupy since their inception, really.
They say that they are trying to defend their villages and
But they know, as I know, that I don't want to be here for the war. I am here, and they know, just like all the world, that in 2 months we are going back to Israel. So why they have to kill people? If they want to kill people, it's just because they are crazy. I know I'm not dealing here with human beings. I saw them.
And that type of thinking hasn't changed, obviously. The way we've seen Israeli leadership talk about Palestinians, talk about Lebanese people, talking about what they want to do, flatten Gaza, flatten Rafah, flatten Beirut, Amalek, all these references, biblical references to demons, their music, calling us rats, etc. Also, we keep hearing about how the United States and the Israeli government want to empower the Lebanese military, right? They want to empower the Lebanese military to stop Hezbollah, to disarm Hezbollah, so that we can finally have peace in the Middle East, because we know, as we all know, folks, the problem in the Middle East are the resistance. Are Hezbollah, it's Hamas, it's Iran. They're the reason why there isn't peace, there's no peace in the Middle East, not Israel. Obviously not. It's not the country that is currently bombing 5 other countries at once. We are the problem. Hezbollah, our resistance. And why does Hezbollah exist? Why does Hamas exist? Who are they resisting? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That question is irrelevant. What matters is that, for some reason, our Lebanese government is now in talks with the Israeli government under mediation by the US government. And they've decided that to reach peace, to have peace between Lebanon and Israel, you have to capitulate to the Israeli point of view. And the Israeli point of view is that we need to empower the Lebanese military. We're going to encourage the Lebanese army to take care of Hezbollah. Well, how does do the Israelis and the Americans empower the Lebanese military? Apparently it's by killing them. Lebanon. Israel assassinates Lebanese army brigadier General Wissam Sabra, Captain Ali Khouri, and soldier Hussein Ghazal. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun and the official Lebanese government signed a U.S. brokered joint statement confirming that Lebanon and Israel hold no hostile intentions toward one another. In this spirit of brotherhood and unshakable bond between Israel and the Lebanese state, Israel today assassinated Brigadier General Wissam Sabra while he was heading to his base. Here are our 3 Lebanese soldiers that have lost their lives. This is between 2 countries that are supposedly working towards a peaceful resolution. This is an institution, the Lebanese military, that Israel and the U.S. have agreed that they want to empower via funding, via whatever means necessary to take care of the supposed problem, which is the Lebanese resistance, which is Hezbollah. And they've just killed 3 soldiers in an attack. Make that make sense. Look at that. And of course, the IDF has put out a statement trying to explain that away. Earlier today, the IDF identified a vehicle. Earlier today, the IDF identified a vehicle moving suspiciously toward IDF soldiers near the area of Tibnit, Lebanon. So yeah, why did they kill these soldiers, by the way? Because they were driving in Lebanon. Israelis felt threatened by the Lebanese military, not in their country, in our country, where they shouldn't even be. So they saw a car of our military driving near them, and they killed them because they're in Lebanon. They're the Lebanese military, and they're in Lebanon. Who's not supposed to be in Lebanon right now? Oh yeah, the Israeli military. Why are you in Lebanon? So, I love the framing. Earlier today, the IDF identified the vehicle moving suspiciously toward IDF soldiers near the area of Tibnit in Lebanon. The vehicle was traveling through an active combat zone that had been evacuated. The IDF had received concrete indications that Hezbollah would direct fire toward IDF soldiers from the same area. Additional intelligence and operational information indicate that Hezbollah conducts extensive terrorist operations in this area. Following the identification of the vehicle and in light of the concrete indication of Hezbollah fire in the area alongside the threat posed to the soldiers, the vehicle was struck. Obviously, they felt threatened, of course. An initial inquiry indicates that 2 officers and a soldier in the Lebanese army were inside the vehicle. The incident is under review. It should be emphasized that the area is an active combat zone, and movement in the area requires coordination with the IDF. The IDF is reviewing the incident, and lessons will be learned accordingly. The IDF operates against Hezbollah terrorist organization, not against the Lebanese army. Oh, cool. All right. Tell it to their families. Tell it to their widows. Their kids, their nephews, their friends, whoever it is they may have lost, you know? So we're not allowed to travel inside our own country. Is it even our land? What do you mean we're not allowed to walk around southern Lebanon? What do you mean it's an active war zone, my guy? It's my country. It's our land. You're killing our own military in our own land, our people, our women, our children, our resistance fighters. It's been 3 years and the world does nothing. It's all kind of infuriating, but okay, that's fine. That's fine. This is Tyre, South Lebanon. That was just yesterday as well. They've been slamming the living shit out of southern Lebanon. So this was earlier today as well. This is by Amishai Stein. Israeli Minister Bezalel Smotrich is expected to propose a security at the Security Cabinet meeting convening within the next hour that Israel respond to every Iranian missile launched at Israel by striking 20 to 30 buildings in Beirut's Dahya district. The rationale, according to the proposal, is that such a policy would undermine Iran's strategic linkage to Lebanon and expand upon the concept of the money plow, the large-scale destruction of buildings in southern Lebanon. Smotrich argues that destroying 1,000 to 2,000 structures in Dahya would strengthen Israel's security and create long-term deterrence against Lebanon for years to come. The minister's broader argument is that direct exchanges of fire between Iran and Israel are a more complex response option, requiring flights of 3 to 4 hours and consuming significant operational resources for what he views as a relatively limited event. Instead, he suggests that Israel could respond within 5 minutes by striking Hezbollah targets in Beirut in what he describes as a creative response. So the creative solution for Israel, which, I mean, listen, to kind of be fair, not to be fair, but like I understand, this is what happens in war. We're all cheering when Iran I wasn't cheering, of course not, you know what I mean? It's all sad. When Iran was striking like the UAE and places like Dubai and Qatar and whatever, and they were hitting American bases in those countries, we're like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. They're gonna hit Israel, but like they're also making this a headache for everyone around them. And one way to deter Israel and the US from continuing this war is to hurt their allies, which in this case would be the UAE and Saudi Arabia, etc. Israel's doing the same thing now. You know what I mean? They're going to hit Iran, but instead of just hitting Iran, they're going to bomb the living shit out of Lebanon as a way to, again, put pressure on Iran to stop it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We're paying the price. Lebanese people are paying the price. The Iranians paid a heavy price as well. Obviously, they were at war with Israel, but it was a pretty limited war compared to we've been at it for fucking decades. We've been at it for a long time. So for every rocket that the Iranians send to be threatened with, we're going to bomb 20 and 30 of your buildings and kill hundreds and thousands of your people. It's hard for me to cheer for an Iranian a missile at this point with that context. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, I don't like Israel, but I also don't like 20 to 30 buildings in Beirut being destroyed. You feel me?
Attacked the southern suburbs of Lebanon's capital, Beirut. Multiple explosions have been heard. This is the latest footage from the attack, with early reports indicating a multi-story building has been hit. The army targeted Dahir, an area known for being a Hezbollah stronghold.
Sophia Loves Monkey says they would do this regardless. Listen, they do. Israelis do strike Hezbollah targets all the time. But there's definitely a big increase in the amount of strikes and the amount of casualties when we're at all-out war. You know what I'm saying? So that is also undeniable. And again, we're the ones, like when Hezbollah or Iran hit Israel, they're not getting many targets. You know what I mean? But Israelis are getting a lot of fucking targets here in Lebanon. So even the rockets that we do fire aren't really doing that much damage. Like Hezbollah has been very successful with their drones in the south and etc. Yes, but like the rocket barrages that they fire over there are not nearly as impactful as you might think they are. You know what I mean? But like all I'm saying is Lebanon is being smacked right. No matter what happens, we are in the middle getting kicked and getting punched while we're already down and while we have our ribs are already broken. We can barely breathe. We're all bruised up and cut and bloodied, and we're still getting kicked while we're down, no matter who does what on which side. So it's just, you guys got to keep in mind, you know?
Israel's defense minister says the strikes were in response to Hezbollah firing on Israeli territory. US President Donald Trump had previously told Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that attacking Beirut would not be acceptable. Israel has also continued to carry out attacks on the south of the country. This is the latest video footage from Nabatea. Earlier, Israel issued new forced displacement orders for residents in and around the Lebanese city of Tyre. We're going to go to our correspondent in Tyre in southern Lebanon in just a moment, but first let's go to Beirut where Ali Hashim is standing by for us. Ali, tell us what has been going on.
Well, there were three explosions actually heard from the southern suburb of Beirut, and then we understood that there was an Israeli attack on a building. It's not an airstrike, it was a kind of a drone strike or precise missiles hitting a couple of floors in one building. Actually, the building is just beneath another building that was destroyed in the previous war. So if you see the pictures, you'll see a destroyed building that was destroyed in the past war, and there's a new one hit. A couple of floors were hit. For the moment, there are no reports of what and who was there, except for what the Israelis are saying, that this was an infrastructure for Hezbollah. What we're hearing right now from the Lebanese news agency is that there are reported casualties after the Israeli attack on the southern suburb of Beirut, the area of Tahwitat al-Ghadir al-Maraiji. This is the area that was targeted today. For now, as I'm talking to you, the drone is buzzing above our head, and this is just the same thing every day, and every day it's just the soundtrack of the Lebanese capital. But the most important thing that this is a turning point, because a week ago there was an Israeli warning.
Yeah, that is true. Again, the drones haven't gone away from Beirut since the ceasefire started till now. There's always been drones. Yesterday I was in Beirut with Demi at an event. Like, again, like just people can't live their lives anymore. You know what I mean? Like, Demi has been planning this like flash tattoo event for a while, and there was a hit. Israel hit Dahya. The strike that he's talking about happened while we were at Demi's tattoo event, like in the afternoon. You know what I mean? So and you could hear the drone all day. Then Beirut gets hit. And so obviously there's also like displacement from Dahya. More people start to panic, and they pack their stuff and they leave. And with threats from the Israelis, like for every Iranian rocket, we're gonna destroy 30 buildings. So people are fucking panicking. And like, yeah, that's what happens. And then at night, you know, Iran hit Israel later that day. So everyone was like, holy shit, what is Israel going to do? And we know, at being Lebanese, like, you'd think, oh, Iran hit Israel, logically they're going to hit Israel. But no, you were like, oh shit, we're going to get hit. We're going to get slammed now. So do we leave? Do we drive off? Like, what happens? Like, as we were leaving yesterday, as we were closing Demi's place to leave, like, Elias calls me. He's like, yo, like, just get out of Beirut if you want, because, like, try to not hang around too long, because you know, Israel said they're going to respond and they want to fuck up Hezbollah for what Iran did. So it's like, holy shit, dude. And again, we were safe. We're in a relatively safe area. Nothing happened. But it's just like, you can't live a normal life anymore. And imagine if you were displaced. Imagine if your home got destroyed. What do you do? There's over 1 million displaced people in Lebanon right now. You know what I'm saying? No amount of money raised can help, can fix this.
To the southern suburb. And then we heard President Trump saying that there is a ceasefire. Then we saw the Iranians threatening at the same time that in case Israel is going to attack the southern suburb, they are going to retaliate towards Israel. And then Lebanon and Israel had their meetings. There was another announcement of ceasefire. However, there was no real ceasefire except for Beirut and the southern suburbs. So this is the only place where there was no military activities. Even just the entrance of Beirut, Khaldi, which is like 3-4 kilometers from Beirut's international airport, there was an attack on Monday and someone was killed over there, an assassination. So the issue right now is that things are changing once again. And back to square one that everyone was trying last week to get out of this vicious cycle. The south is being attacked on daily basis. The western Beqa is being attacked on a daily basis. And now with this attack in Beirut, and Beirut's southern suburb, and the Israelis saying that this is in retaliation to an attack by Hezbollah on the northern communities, the cards are being mixed again. And everyone is waiting to see what's going to be the next step and who is going to do the next step. In case there are casualties, and as we are reading now from Lebanon's national agency, then will Hezbollah retaliate towards the north? And would that create another pattern or another cycle of uncontrolled exchange of fire, given the fact that war, as I've been saying and I will always repeat, hasn't finished. The war in the south continues. Yesterday, a brigadier general in the Lebanese army was killed alongside the captain, and private cities and towns in South Lebanon and the western Beqa are being attacked on hourly basis. And we're talking about on daily basis also tens of people between killed and injured. So the war is there. The only thing was that Beirut and its southern suburb are outside the equation. Today, the Israelis are bringing them back to the mix.
Ali, just to explain to our viewers, as you said, a lot of this detail is still coming in about the precision of this attack and what Israel claims it was its purpose. We do know, and you have referred to this as well, we were in this same situation a couple of days ago with Israel threatening to strike this area of Beirut. Can you help our viewers understand this is a densely populated area? What is its history and what is the effect on the people who live there?
Well, the issue is that when the Israelis warned last week that they are going to attack the southern suburb, many people left. And it was already an area that was attacked during the war, so there was continuous displacement from that area. However, there are a lot of families who prefer to get back to their homes, even if that means that they are in risk of being killed. But at least they are not in tents, they're not in schools, they are not in poor infrastructure, they're not in the stadium, they're not in the park, they're not on the beach.
Yeah, we don't have any infrastructure to take care of displaced people. It fucking sucks to be displaced in Lebanon. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're either staying in public schools. There's not enough fucking bathrooms for people. They're either staying in our massive, like, national stadium where sports events used to happen with no functioning bathrooms. Like, it's a fucking nightmare. I've been there for boxing tournaments. Like, most people are staying in tents. There was a whole area outside of some fancy clubs with tents. The Lebanese police was sent out by the government to, like, take down all of the tents. Like, it's a clusterfuck out there.
They prefer to get back to their apartments, to their houses, regardless of the threats and the risks. And that's why there's still many people inside the southern suburb, and that's why this area is still populated. You know, this is an area with hundreds of thousands of people, and it has different neighborhoods. It's large, a big area. The war created a lot of threats there by Israeli airstrikes on buildings, sometimes indiscriminate attacks on buildings, sometimes forceful warnings to people to leave certain buildings and certain areas. But in general, those people there, those who decided to leave, came to the capital, went to the mountains, went to several other areas, while there is, I can say, tens of thousands that are still inside there, insisting on staying, and they do not want to leave. Today, with this attack, the papers are mixed again, even for the people, for the normal people. It's not just Hezbollah that will have to decide on retaliating or not. It's also for many families that will have to decide on leaving the suburb or staying there, taking the risk, and wishing or hoping that nothing's going to happen.
All right, Ali Hashim joining us live from Beirut. Thank you.
Also, Democracy Now! Is covering this. Iran warns Israel over attacks in Lebanon. After Iran-Israel exchange strikes. Let's watch the part about Lebanon real quick, and then we'll move on to the interview with our LB president, our boy. So we got to be respectful here in Lebanon. If you say something that is deemed insulting towards your president or any like public figure / politician for the most part, you could be imprisoned. So it's going to be a very, chillaxed reaction when we get to that.
Now, democracynow.org, the warrant.
I don't want to go to jail.
Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman.
Not that I would ever say anything that would lead for me to go to jail, of course. I'm a loyal supporter of our country.
In the most serious escalation since a U.S.-Iranian so-called truce was reached in April, Iran and Israel exchanged fire over...
Amy Goodman, our girl. Let's go. Yep, let's go.
Overnight. Iran launched a wave of missiles at northern Israel, saying it was in response to Israeli attacks near Beirut on Sunday. Israel responded with attacks on several areas of Iran, including the capital, Tehran. Earlier today, Iran announced it's halting strikes on Israel, but warned it'll carry out a more severe response if Israel continues to attack Lebanon. Israel attacked Iran despite President Trump telling us...
I appreciate Iran, you know what I mean? Like, someone's got to fucking respond. And Israel warned Hezbollah that if Hezbollah responds by firing any rockets outside of Lebanon into northern Israel, they would hit Beirut. And they made the same threat. For every drone that Hezbollah uses to attack an Israeli piece of infrastructure or soldier, they would hit 10 buildings in Beirut. It was the same threat that they made like a week and a half ago. We're used to that shit. That's how it works. It's fun stuff. Yeah.
On Sunday that he planned to call Israel.
So if we can't hit Israel and they're hitting our country, I mean, someone's got to, right? So again, it's such a I want someone to be able to defend my country from Israel. You know what I mean? We're not allowed to defend ourselves against Israel. So when someone does defend us against Israel, it feels good, right? Cathartic, like, fuck yeah. Here's a little taste of your own medicine, Israel. But then for every one of those rockets that lands in Israel, they want to retaliate by destroying 20 or 30 buildings here in Lebanon. So it makes you go like, what do I want? Do I want to defend my country and our dignity and our land? Do I want to watch more buildings be destroyed, more people die, more people get displaced? Is this ever going to end militarily? No, it's not. So I know that this is just what the wheels are just spinning because there's no military solution to any of this. There's only diplomacy that is going to end this ultimately. So it's just like, we know what's going to happen. We know a deal is going to get signed at some point, either some kind of ceasefire, some kind of whatever the fuck it is. So can we get to that point? Can everyone just get to the table and start figuring that shit out? Because while I want Iran to retaliate, for every time they retaliate, we get slammed. And I'm not even like saying me personally, other people. So like, do I want to be here? Like, isn't it wrong of me to sit here and cheer for like other people to get their homes destroyed? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, hit them. Lose your homes.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to urge him not to respond to the first wave of Iranian missiles. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai spoke in Tehran earlier today.
America has direct responsibility in any action that the Zionist regime carries out in relation to violation of regional peace and security against Iran.
We're joined now by Trita Parsi, Executive Vice President of the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft, author of several books, including Losing an Enemy, Obama, Iran, and the Triumph of Diplomacy. His latest piece for Responsible Statecraft is Iran Strikes Israel, Proving It Will Use Hard Power on Behalf of Lebanon. Why don't you elaborate on that? Were you surprised by this major violation of the so-called ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran, and what this says about how much power President Trump has over Netanyahu? He said he warned him not to do this, not to respond to Iran attacking Israel for Israel attacking Lebanon.
Thank you, Amy. It's good to be with you. I was not surprised by the Iranian attack on Israel. In fact, a couple of days ago, just before Trump had his first colorful conversation with Netanyahu, the Iranians had already signaled that they were about to strike Israel. They were probably 45 to 60 minutes away of doing so. That's when Trump intervened and the situation was diffused. So the fact that the Iranians were going to enforce their red line in Lebanon, I don't think was a surprise, and I think the U.S. government took it seriously as well. What is perhaps a bit surprising is the immediate reaction that Trump had, and of course then that the Israelis defied Trump's expressed wishes. And where that goes from now, we will have to see, but it's important to understand that what the Iranians were trying to do and what really worries the Israelis is that they were trying to extend their deterrence. They had already established their own deterrence in the sense that any attack on Iran clearly would be retaliated against. But now they were trying to say that even if the Israelis were to attack Lebanon, southern Lebanon, they would also face Iranian retaliation, which would be the first time in a very long time that a major power would put real hard power behind a warning or a deterrent against an attack by Israel on a third country. And this is part of what the Israelis are worried about, because if it suddenly means that they can no longer have that complete maneuverability in Lebanon, in Gaza, and elsewhere that they are enjoying because the West is more and less enabling that to happen, they're politically defending it, etc. And for the last couple of decades, it has not been challenged by any regional state in a sincere or serious way. This appears to have been an attempt by the Iranians to challenge that, to establish this extended deterrence, and this is part of the—
I mean, God, I hope so, man. I hope so. I hope so. I hope the Israelis feel threatened enough by Iran to think twice before striking Lebanon with the impunity that they've been doing it. But no one else is stepping up. No one else has been stepping up to defend Lebanon. And some people will cynically say, but that's where the Lebanese public is split. Some people in Lebanon will tell you, well, the Iranians are only responding because they're defending their proxy Hezbollah, and it's in their interest. And if they don't respond to defend Hezbollah, then they're just going to look weak, and then Hezbollah is going to look even weaker, and then Israel's going to go even harder on Hezbollah. Other people will be like, well, no, they're looking out for Lebanon's interest, etc. I know they're not looking out for Lebanon's interest per se, but looking out for Hezbollah's interest in some way, shape, or form, because Hezbollah is our resistance force and they're the only ones defending the South. They're looking out for Lebanon. But then people tell you, well, if it wasn't for Hezbollah getting into this war, then the South wouldn't even be at risk. But then you could respond by saying, well, the Israelis were planning an attack on the South anyways before Hezbollah ever responded. So it never ends. It's super fun. Irene the Dream sends a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Irene. That's so kind. Says, just sending love. Always thinking of all of you affected by the evils at B. You're forever in my heart. Love you all. Thank you so much, Irene. That is so kind. That is so considerate. And we appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. I know none of you guys agree with what's going on over here. That's why you're here. And even I hate, like, this is a day where I'm just kind of like talking like, I know I sound like anti-resistance or something right now. Like, just let Israel do what it wants. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. And if that's what it sounds like, then fuck me. But it's like, you know, like the price is being paid here by Lebanese blood. So can I sit here and cheer that on? I don't know. So maybe I should just suck it up and accept that, you know, there's nothing that Lebanon could do in this situation. And our best bet is to just survive, keep our head down and fucking survive. I just want us to keep every single inch of land we have in Lebanon. I don't want us to give up a single inch of land, a single centimeter. It's all ours. We've already lost like 20% of land that the Israelis are occupying. They're moving in deeper into our country every single day. Yes, Hezbollah is giving them the hard time. Yes, Hezbollah is killing IDF soldiers. We salute you. Bam, you know what I mean? I'm all for that. But I also just want Lebanese people to not die anymore. We don't want people to die anymore. Lebanon's paying the price. Israelis aren't really paying much of a price compared to Lebanese people. Iranians aren't really paying a price as much as Lebanese people. I'm okay. It's just the power. It's just electricity. AS is right. Says we are cursed with genocidal neighbors. Exactly. We're cursed with Israel. And my question is at this point, not my question is, and I've always kind of thought that, but like, what is the best way for Lebanon to survive with a neighbor like Israel? Do we antagonize, not even antagonize them? The problem is if we defend ourselves against them, it is called as if we're antagonizing them. We're just trying to survive. We're just defending ourselves. Like, I just want to get to a point where there's zero normalization, and I don't even want to call it peace. I want to call it ignore each other. We exist, and we pretend you motherfuckers don't exist. You exist, you pretend we don't exist. That's it. We don't interact. We don't do anything to cross each other's paths. You stay the fuck out of our land. We stay the fuck out of your land. Not that we've ever interfered or gotten into their land. But it's like, just like, leave us the fuck alone for a little bit, man. We're a small, tiny country. We're poor. We've got no fucking power. We've got no military to speak of, you know, in terms of that can compete on the world stage. We're a small little fucking country, man, with working class people that are going through hyperinflation. Situation's not good here financially. In Lebanon, people are fucking struggling. Youth unemployment is crazy high, and if you do find a job, salaries are fucking horribly low. And now other countries that Lebanese people used to depend on to travel to get good jobs, like going to Dubai, etc. A, they're already being affected by the war, but B, now that these countries know that Lebanese people are desperate for money, the standard of living for Lebanese people has dropped in those countries. Like, let's say a Lebanese person would find a job in like Dubai for $5,000 a month, and the situation has gotten worse a long time ago, even without the hyperinflation in Lebanon. Like, salaries in those countries aren't what they used to be. But anyways, let's say a Lebanese person would get paid $5,000 a month in Dubai. Now that people in Dubai know that, oh, but Lebanese people are desperate, they have hyperinflation, they'll take a job for $2,500, $3,000. So the standard of living for Lebanese people in the GCC, in the Arab region, has also gone down because of the situation here in Lebanon. So like, Lebanese people have it hard, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, we're going to do this forever, and we're going to pay the price forever, while Israel gets unlimited money from the US and from Europe. Who's sending us that unlimited money? Not Iran. I can tell you that. We're not getting any of that fucking money. So Lebanon Cat says it's not their land. I know, yeah, not their land. That's not what I meant. You know, you guys know what I meant. Yankees fan sends a very generous $10 dono. Thank you so much, Yankees fan. W's in the chat for Yankees fan, folks. That's so kind. It says peace and strength to the Lebanese people. Yankees fan, you too, man. I know you're Lebanese. You're out there in New York. Being that Yankees fan, you know. Palestinian land, of course. Forgive me for saying that, folks. It is late. Okay, let us move on to the main event tonight. The Lebanese president, Joseph Aoun's interview with Christiane Amanpour from CNN. I don't know if this is the full thing. I've tried to find... This is a 13-minute video. This is the longest one I found. I found there's a 10-minute version of this on CNN, and there's like some other clips. I think this entails the whole thing. If anyone knows how long this interview was in actuality, please let me know. As far as I know, I found this version.
President Aoun, thank you so much for being with us.
And like I said, if anything here sounds like a criticism of our dear president, it is not. I agree with everything that he says, believes, does, and thinks. Everything. No exception. We love the president here. Here's hearts for our president, Joseph Aoun. Ever since he was elected, folks, we've expressed how happy and how much we love him. So nothing here should be misconstrued as criticism. I might have a little mild comment to say here and there, but ultimately, I still 100% agree with everything. With everything. Okay, just a little disclaimer, because I don't like to go to prison. With that said, let us react to the video. Oh, our great leader. Oh, great leader. Wait, I need to serenade our president first. Our great leader, Lebanese president, our great leader. We love Joseph Aoun, our president, Aoun, our president. General Joseph Aoun, the greatest general in the army's history. All right, we're done. Let's go. W's for the president in chat, folks. W's for Lebanese President Joseph Aoun in chat right now. I want the police to be able to go back and see the love that our president got in my live chat right now. W's in the chat. Haley D says, Lebanese Kevin O'Leary. Let's go. And Kevin O'Leary is the most handsome of all the Shark Tank judges. We know that. So that's why you are the most handsome Kevin O'Leary, Mr. President.
President Aoun, thank you so much for being with us. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for coming, please.
This is a very crucial moment.
Desiree Portraits, or ignore whoever reads that. Desiree Portraits is just joking. She's kidding. It's a joke.
President Aoun, thank you so much for being with us. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for coming, please.
This is a very crucial moment for your country, for you, in fact, for the region.
Oh, she came to Lebanon, huh? Why weren't we invited abroad?
The latest ceasefire has been announced late this week, and yet, as we speak, the Israeli Prime Minister says Hezbollah has not agreed, so he will not recommend a ceasefire to his cabinet. Therefore, it doesn't exist, according to Israel, at this moment. And in any event, they're always being violated by both sides.
By both sides? Listen, lady, Israel violated the ceasefire 15,000 times in 15 months. Let's not both sides the situation. And if Hezbollah hasn't agreed to a ceasefire, it's because the terms of the ceasefire are fucking crazy. The terms of the ceasefire that Israel wants is that they can bomb the living shit out of southern Lebanon and out of Hezbollah, and Hezbollah has no right to retaliate. What kind of a ceasefire is that? Did you give that framing in your interview, Christiane Amanpour? Come on, lady. Come on. You got to talk about the ceasefire. The president's not our great president, our great leader, Joseph On. He is the greatest. But he's not going to correct you in this case because he doesn't care. He wants to make the deal with the Americans and the Israelis. Our great leader, Joseph On. Not that we disagree with what he wants to do ever or thinks. So handsome. Not you. Him. Sorry, folks. The Secret Service came to my house. I was too critical of our Lebanese president. I'm kidding. We said nothing, folks. I got some internet issue, but we're okay now. Our great leader, Joseph On. Our great leader, Mr. President. All right, let's go back.
The Israelis, Prime Minister Netanyahu, and Hezbollah, they have to understand the only way, difficult, I know, the only way, for me, the only way to end this conflict is through negotiation.
What I was saying, I don't know if it got cut off with the thing, but he's not wrong there, okay? The answer against Israel is never going to be a military solution. Militarily, you're never going to stand up to Israel. You can put up a fight. You can do what Iran is doing, and Iran was fighting and defending itself admirably against Israel. But ultimately, the solution is always going to be a diplomatic solution. There's no military solution in Gaza. There's no military solution in Lebanon. It's got to be diplomatic. It's got to be. We're going to have to sign a piece of paper that determines what happens. Because if we try to fight this out militarily, we don't stand a chance against the Israelis or the Americans or the Europeans, because that's who we're fighting when we're fighting the Israelis. We're fighting the Americans and we're fighting the Europeans. It's their weapons. It's their money. It's not the Israelis. So that's not going to solve anything. It's going to have to be diplomatically. But the diplomatic deal can't be a ceasefire where half of Lebanon can still get bombed with impunity by the Israelis because it happens to be in the south and it happens to have a Shia majority population. No, I'm sorry. We're not going to do that. The deals that we're trying to come up with, and we're not going to agree with Israel that the problem is the resistance that only exists because of Israel and Israel's activity in Lebanon and in the region. So no, we can't agree to that either. So while yes, I agree with Mr. President, our great leader, it's got to be diplomatic, but under the right conditions. And how do you negotiate a diplomatic ceasefire with Israel without Hezbollah at the table? How can Hezbollah not be present at the table and be part of the negotiations? Because it is essentially, it's Shia majority in the south. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to trust the Lebanese government to look out for their best interests, because the Lebanese government is more than happy to let the Israelis occupy huge parts of the country, and they're not defending them. And in fact, we make deals with them, and we shake hands with them while they kill our military for driving too close to like an Israeli soldier in our own country. We just talked about it. They killed 3 soldiers for driving too close to like 2 Israeli soldiers. They bombed a Lebanese military vehicle and killed 3 Lebanese soldiers. Haley sends a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Haley, and says, why still be nice to Yahoo? Call him Prime Monster. Did I call him Prime Minister? He is a prime monster. Prime can a monster. Energy doink.
The Israelis, Prime Minister Netanyahu and Hezbollah, they have to understand that they are waging a futile war. The strategy that they are following is short-sighted, counterproductive, and believe me, it will never lead to the desired outcome. War, it's a bloody negotiation, whereas negotiation is a bloodless war. We have a great opportunity to end the state of hostility between.
Nice lines, nice quotes, you know what I mean? Sure, it's nice, but again, negotiating that southern Lebanon has a right to be bombed by Israeli is not a bloodless war. You know what I mean? People are paying the price for those negotiations that you're making. You have negotiated away the lives and the rights of Lebanon's Shia population, of Lebanon South, of the Dahi population. Your negotiations have only protected Lebanese Christians, not all of them, but like parts of the country only. So it's nice to say that war is a... What's the quote again, Mr. President?
Bloody negotiation, whereas negotiation is a bloodless war.
Negotiation has not been bloodless for the Shia. Negotiation has not been bloodless for 1/3 of our country. So, Raimi says he's rizzing her up. Of course he's the Lebanese president. He can rizz any lady up. Look at that face. Every lady who runs into our Lebanese president, folks, is gonna have that face. Of course, he's Mr. Joseph Aoun. Mr. President Joseph Aoun, our great leader, raising up the ladies.
We have a great opportunity to end the state of hostility between Lebanon and Israel. We have a great opportunity for both the Lebanese and the Israeli people to live in safety and security. They are both, I think, fed up with war since 1948.
Wait, you say that the northern Israelis deserve to live in peace?
We have a great opportunity for both the Lebanese and the Israeli people to live in safety and security. They are.
I mean, listen, okay, so here's the problem, right? I'm like, yes, I do want the Israelis to live in safety and security, as long as the Palestinians in Israel and the people in Gaza can live just as peacefully and just as comfortably as the rest of the Israelis. I would love that. And all of you in the chat would love that. My question is now, is it Lebanon's responsibility to guarantee that for the Palestinians? Because we're the only ones, us, Yemen, and the Iranians, you could say, that are defending the people in Gaza. And Lebanon has paid a very heavy price. It has exacted a very heavy toll on our people. Extracted a heavy toll. Should we accept that there's nothing we could do to help the people in Gaza? Is there something we could do as Lebanese to help the people in Gaza? What we've tried to do is refuse any negotiations, right, with Israel. We keep attacking them as Hezbollah and as the resistance. We keep fighting them. We keep fighting the good fight. It hasn't done anything to help the Palestinians. I don't know what the fuck to do. It's just fucking tiring. It's just whatever it is. I hate the. What gets to me? I hate the idea of just being nice with Israelis. Of just capitulating to them in any way. Of like bowing down to them. Like that to me. I would rather die standing up than live on my knees, folks. That is a quote that I heard when I was younger that I found cringy and funny as hell. But god damn it, is it fucking true? I would rather die standing up than live on my knees. You can't do it to me, Israelis.
Are both, I think, fed up with war since 1948. This is a huge opportunity. So both they have to choose war or negotiation or diplomacy.
Diplomacy. Okay, we want diplomacy. We want diplomacy. We want negotiation and diplomacy. But your idea, of course. You have the best ideas. The people around you, their ideas for negotiation and diplomacy is to sell out part of Lebanon. Hey, let's sell out the South, let's sell out the Shia, and let's have diplomacy and peace with the rest of the country. There's a problem with that.
Believe me, diplomacy, this is the best way forward. As a military man, I understand, I've lived the atrocities and the hardship of the war. The best way is through diplomacy. Wars normally, historically speaking, ends either way. There is a victor and a vanquished. or through negotiation. Both sides will never be able to achieve their objective.
Why do you say that? Because clearly Israel believes, and it is the superior power, conventionally speaking, that it can keep pushing Hezbollah back. As long as Hezbollah keeps firing into Israel, it's the whole mowing the lawn strategy that they have. And you're right, every time there's a ceasefire, there are violations. There have been these incursions, these wars periodically over the last, at least since 2000.
Diplomacy with the side of ethnic cleansing. Diplomacy with the side of, a little bit of genocide here and there. No?
With Hezbollah and Israel, and it keeps coming back to the same place. Hezbollah keeps doing the
What's his history, Nour? I have no idea what war he fought in, to be honest with you.
Provocations, keeps doing Iran's work. So maybe this is what suits them. Maybe you will always be in the middle of this.
You're absolutely right. That's what
we will always be in the middle of this. It is what suits them. The Israelis don't want a ceasefire in Lebanon. They don't give a fuck. They want any excuse to keep fighting. They need someone to keep threatening them, to keep getting funding for weapons, to keep Netanyahu out of fucking jail, to keep him winning elections. Wartime president. He needs a wartime prime minister. He needs to be, I'm the wartime prime. I can't. There's a war. We need to defend Israel.
They think, but that's what I said, that their strategy is short-sighted. They've tried it before in 2000, in 2006, in 2023, 24, and in 2026 now. But honestly, they can invade the whole country. They can flatten the whole country, but they will never be able to achieve their objective. Because dealing with non-state actors is different than dealing with a conventional forces. When you have two conventional forces, you have the one that possesses more capabilities will defeat the other side. So Hezbollah is not, it's an idea. It's not an objective that you can see. It's not a geographic objective. It's a war amongst...
Haley says you can't have diplomacy with people who don't see you as people. Am I crazy? I think at this point, it's got to be it's got to be pretend diplomacy. We know the Israelis hate us. We know the Israelis want nothing more than to kill us. But I guess the alternative, I guess what he's trying to say is, the alternative is not working. The alternative is just them killing Lebanese people, them taking Lebanese land. We can't fight them off. We can't fight them off unless we get a big assist. Unless we get an assist. Right now, the only assist we have is Iran. But the more Iran helps us, the more we get hit. So unless America's going to step up, unless anyone's got to step up, I think everyone's putting all the expectation on Lebanon to like at this point, guys, the answer is America. The answer is your government. A lot of the people that are asking for Lebanon to keep fighting and to keep eating it, it's like your country is the one that is making this possible to begin with. So no, I don't think Lebanese people should pay with their lives anymore for the West's inability to elect someone or to stop their leaders from doing what they're doing. And you're asking people to be victims, to fight Israel, instead of you guys just stop funding Israel. That's the problem. That's what's happening.
People, as a former British general termed it, Rupert Smith, in his book, The Utility of Force. It's war amongst...
now, this is a guy who's trying to deal with, how do we deal with this fucking superpower that is just fucking destroying us? Also, so, being the Lebanese president is honestly, a fucking thankless job. And whatever criticisms I have or not have, disagreements or agreements, it's a thankless fucking job to be the Lebanese president, man. Oh my fucking God, dude. The fucking responsibility that you have dealing with a neighbor like Israel, dealing with Iran, dealing with a paramilitary force in your own country, a resistance that is more powerful than your own military and that does what the fuck it wants, that you can't fucking control. Corruption on every level. It's insane. It's insane. There's nothing this guy could do to make anyone happy. You can only make a couple of people happy here and there. But God, it's tiring, man.
People. The battlefield is the people. They are hiding among the people. So how you measure your success? You count bodies? They've tried it in Gaza. Hamas still exists or not?
It does.
Take, for example, the FARC in Colombia. Take, for example, the IRA. When dealing with non-state actors, it requires different strategy, a strategy of multiple lines of effort. The kinetic part of it is 10%. The non-kinetic parts.
But I don't like how he says they hide amongst the people here. Sorry, we're at 423. Let me go back.
So how you measure your in his book, The Utility of People, as a former British general termed it, Rupert Smith, in his book, The Utility of Force. It's war amongst people. The battlefield is the people. They are hiding among the people. So how you measure your success? You count bodies? They've tried it in Gaza. Hamas still exists?
But it's right. I mean, what he's saying here is right. You know, they've murdered hundreds of thousands in Gaza. Hamas is still around. So what's the answer? More bodies?
Or not?
It does.
Oh, he's definitely against Hezbollah. Rahim says so. He's against Hezbollah. He is against Hezbollah. He doesn't want Hezbollah in his country. He doesn't want Hezbollah to have the influence because a lot of Lebanese people consider Hezbollah is the reason that we're getting hit by Israel. When Israel hits Lebanon, half the country blames Hezbollah. They're like, oh, fuck Hezbollah for doing this. It's like, well, you do know that it's the Israelis that launched the missile. They're the ones that sent the planes to kill you. But
you have, take for example, the FARC in Colombia. Take for example, the IRA. When dealing with non-state actors, it requires different strategy, a strategy of multiple lines of effort. The kinetic part of it is 10%. The non-kinetic part, social, political, and economic, is 9%, 90%. Hezbollah can only be dealt with domestically. It's the job of the state, of the government. But on one condition,
I agree with that. That we've always said that Hezbollah is our responsibility. Hezbollah is ours to like. If we need to rein in Hezbollah, the Lebanese government has to do it. The Lebanese people have to do it. It's not going to be the Israeli government by force, by bombing the country and bombing us into submission. That's never going to work. Hezbollah is a domestic issue that we need to deal with. That we need to check their power and what they've become, and they've also grown way too much. And like the corruption and the August 4th blast and them beating up protesters during the Lebanese revolution. Like there's a litany of issues with Hezbollah as a political party, as whatever it is you want to say. But also, this is like it's Israeli messaging when you say that Hezbollah is the reason for all of this. Israel is always going to be the core reason for this. But I think we also need to get to a point where like we don't care. Like I think maybe deep down, like where Lebanon wants to get to is like, listen, we know that Israel is at the core of all of this. We just need to fucking, we don't want to talk about it anymore. We just need to fucking move on and like operate. We know they're the core evil. Again, not all Lebanese people. Yeah, Haley, what's happening? Why is YouTube pulling your comments? That's crazy. Been struggling, I think, with that today, huh? What are you trying to say? I saw how you wrote WeChat. That was pretty creative earlier.
That will remove the root causes of the existence of its weapon.
Which is?
Which is the Israeli withdrawal, stopping, ending the state of hostility with Israel.
Okay, so
you know what? He's kind of spitting so far. I gotta say. Prez is kind of spitting.
It's the job of the state, of the government. But on one condition, that will remove the root causes of the existence of its weapon.
Which is?
Which is the Israeli withdrawal, stopping, ending the state of hostility with Israel.
Okay, so that's also...
Exactly. The root cause is Israel. Hezbollah exists because of Israel. Hezbollah has weapons because of Israel. Hezbollah holds on to its weapons because of Israel. Hezbollah is afraid to let go of its weapons because of the constant threat of Israelis. So as long as Hezbollah sees, and the Shia community sees Israel as a threat, they're not going to want to give up their weapons. This is why if the Lebanese army tries to disarm Hezbollah, there's going to be fucking civil war. They're going to be like, why the fuck are you trying to take away our weapons? You're not defending us. You're not defending our land. We're defending our land with our weapons. So you're trying to take away our weapons, and that's going to lead to fucking war. And that's what the Israelis fucking want. They want to set up our country for civil war. Sarah, yes, I was there on August 4th. Haley says, Israel is the reason you're being hit by Israel. Of course it is. Of course it is. Israel is the reason. But Israel will always be the reason, I think. And what some people, I guess the question is, knowing that, how do we get ourselves out of the situation? What is it that we need to do to just get Israel to leave us the fuck alone while not giving up any of our land? And is there anything we can do? And the solution so far seems to just let the Israelis bomb Hezbollah and bomb the south and kill innocent civilians in the process. That's not a solution that I like. That's not going to work. I want Hezbollah to retaliate.
Sounds great and conventional. It just doesn't work. And it hasn't worked for decades now because there's so many other actors. Let's just take Hezbollah, non-state actor, backed by Iran, a state. You go into ceasefire agreements as the head of state with Israel, but the non-state actor is not party to this. In fact, the latest comments from Hezbollah to your government and to you basically says that this is a farce. The talks between your government and Israel, they call a farce. They say that, that they're not bound by this, and they don't believe in this right now. So do you have any reason to believe, because you don't negotiate directly with Hezbollah?
But they're right. Why would they be bound by this? They're getting bombed every single day. South Lebanon is being fucking demolished right now. So why would Hezbollah, if they're not at the negotiating table and they don't get a say in what's happening, why the fuck should they abide by any of this?
Exactly.
That they can be persuaded. What are the steps to make this happen?
Hopefully, and eventually they'll be persuaded, but the cost will be high, unfortunately. I will try. Actually, nothing is impossible, and I will keep pushing for it. At the end of the day, I have two choices, as I said, either to sit idle doing nothing or trying to negotiate and to reason with them. Definitely, I don't maintain direct...
You can't reason with insanity. You can't reason with Israel. You can't reason with genocidal motherfuckers. You can't reason with ethnic cleanser. You can't reason with invaders. You can't reason with colonizers. You can't reason with imperialists. You can't reason with ethno-supremacists, Zionists. What other terms can I throw out there? You can't reason with them. You just can't reason. There's no reason to them. Their society is kind of fucked. Their society is kind of fucked, man. And part of their society is reflected in Lebanese society, too. Some of us are kind of like them in many ways. The way some Lebanese people talk about the Shia population in Lebanon is just like the Israelis talk about Palestinians or Lebanese people or Arabs or Muslims. It's 100% the same. You guys saw that we have Antoun Sahnawi, the Lebanese guy who's dating Morgan Ortegas, who she described as he comes from a proud family of Lebanese Zionists, as he just pledged, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Holocaust Museum somewhere in America. That's a Lebanese dude from Ashrafiyya, with Central.
Contact with them, but I maintain contact through Speaker Berry, who's also in line with the negotiation, who also wants to end this war, who is also fed up with this war, seeing the destruction of the South, and who is
right now is the de facto leader of the Shia. Ever since the death of Hassan Nasrallah, Nabi Birri, who is the head of parliament, has become kind of like the leader of the Shia, not the leader, but you know what I mean? He's the most senior Shia politician in the government, and he is trying to get Hezbollah to the negotiating table, and he sees what's happening kind of, and he kind of senses, I think, the dwindling influence of Hezbollah in Lebanon and ultimately the Shia. So he's trying to salvage it any way he can. And this guy is I gotta say, this guy's one evil MFer. You know what I'm saying? This dude, I can't say much on here, but he's, allegedly he's great. I love him. Well, we love the government. But this guy
also fed up with this war, seeing the destruction of the South, and he wants to get rid to end this war. So I'm counting on him. Definitely, IRGC has a major influence on Hezbollah, and they have to remember what they said yesterday. I totally reject their statement.
Who said? Who said?
IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, that they don't agree with this, they don't approve this agreement. What happened? It's not your country, it's our country. It's our obligation.
So he says that the Iranians said that they disagree with the Lebanese government trying to work out some kind of deal or peace agreement with the Israelis. So now he's responding to the Iranians saying like, hey, it's not your country. Stay out of it.
Court that they don't agree with this, they don't approve this agreement. What happened? It's not your country, it's our country. It's our obligation. It's not your job to interfere into our country. I reject this statement totally because our people being killed, our houses being destroyed. They are using Lebanon as a bargaining chip in their negotiation with the United States.
Okay. I'm half and half on this. I agree with a lot of what Prez is saying, I gotta say. Like at this point, when you start seeing the cost on your land, like I don't want to be anyone's pawn. I don't want to be an Israeli pawn. I don't want to be an Iranian pawn. And Hezbollah, well, yes, is a Lebanese resistance. They also are very closely tied to Iran. And while I do like the... Okay. We seem to be back. God, are they going to let me make my point? Okay. Let me see what I said last. 1 second. Cut back to Prez. Okay. I'm going to replay that real quick.
It's unacceptable being destroyed because our people being killed, our people being country. I reject this statement totally because our people being killed, our houses being destroyed. They are using Lebanon as a bargaining chip in their negotiation with the United States.
Look, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. At this point, this is, guys, Lebanese politics in the region here is there's no like black and white. Everybody's using everybody. Everybody's a pawn on something. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Is Iran kind of helping Hezbollah defend against Israel? Yes. Is Iran also kind of interfering with the country and questioning our president publicly and trying to like add their weight to the scale? And like, yes, they are as well. So like we're the ones losing everything. We're the ones whose people are fucking dying. We're the ones we're losing 20% of our fucking land right now. Israel has taken 20% of our land. So like, yes, are we shocked that the president is trying to do fucking something to get us out of there? And it's not a military thing because we can't stand up to the Israelis militarily. You know what I mean? Unless we go into like all-out war with them. But what's going to happen to Lebanon if we go into all-out war? What are we trying to defend? If the country gets destroyed, if everyone's fucking dead, if all the universities, if all of our ruins, if all of our art, if everything is fucking burnt to a crisp, what did we fight to defend anyways? Dana Sufyan Ali with a very generous $4 super sticker. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Is that a little cup of coffee? Is that a little cup of coffee for me? Thank you so much, Dana. That's very kind. That's very sweet. So, but I also do appreciate the Iranians for helping us and for defending us and for being like, hey, negotiations with Israel are a bad idea because you're only going to capitulate to their framing. You're going to now do their bidding and to try to help and disarm Hezbollah, your only deterrence against Israelis, and you're going to help them achieve that objective for a supposed peace while they're still bombing the living shit out of your country. So of course it looks horrible. Of course the Lebanese negotiation with Israel looked fucking horrible. We know that. Everybody, like most Lebanese people, can call it out. Like, what is he supposed to do also? Just like fucking sit there? Like, they're trying something, I guess, but like, I don't know, man. It just fucking sucks. It's an endless nightmare that I've been talking about for like 3 fucking months, and again 2 years ago, and that's how you all met me in the middle of a fucking war. I feel like you guys only know the show through war. All of our new subscribers, you've only seen us through. I've always been dealing with this since you guys have met me. I wish you guys knew me before the dark times. There's always been dark times in Lebanon, though.
It's unacceptable. And here also, Hezbollah must understand that. Hezbollah must understand that no other way but to sit and talk. No other way to solve this problem and to save what's left except through negotiation and diplomacy.
Okay, so as I said...
Definitely, I have no influence over Iran. I don't have any influence over Iran.
And when you tell them that, when you tell the Iranian government what you just said to me, because I know you've spoken with them, what do they say?
I met with the Iranian president twice, with the foreign minister a couple of times, and most of our discussion was based on the relationship, based on mutual respect, non-interference into internal affairs, and it should be state-to-state relationship, not to state from state to only one part of the country.
But they don't necessarily agree with what you want to do, which is to stop Hezbollah and to disarm them and make them the political force or party that they are.
As I said, they are using Lebanon and Hezbollah mainly as a bargaining chip in their negotiation with the United States.
So let's get back to Hezbollah then.
Yes.
If Iran is not willing to do what you want. And you tried to expel the Iranian representative here, not a full ambassador, but nonetheless. And he didn't go. He's still living here. Is he operating?
No. He's a normal resident with no diplomatic capacity.
If the Lebanese government decides to give up the South for peace, there will never be peace because no one's going to stop fighting for it. Like, if they think that giving up 20% of the country is going to solve their problem, but why does Hezbollah exist in the first place? Why does resistance exist in the first place? I will join a resistance force if we give up parts of the South. I will pick up arms and learn how to fight and go fucking defend the South if we give up parts of our country. Like, do you understand what is going to happen? So the only solution has to be full retreat from Lebanon. Full disengagement from Lebanon. That's it. Not a single fucking drone flies over our fucking country. We don't fucking look your way. You don't fucking look our way. That's it. But for the expectation that Lebanese people are going to accept giving up 20% of our land, not only are the Shia not going to accept it, there's a huge portion of Lebanese Christians that are not going to fucking stand for that. Absolutely no fucking way. If they think, but I don't think the president thinks that that's an acceptable solution. If he gives up the South, you are just guaranteeing, you're giving Hezbollah a reason to have arms. He's saying that we need to solve the root cause of Hezbollah having arms. If you give up the South, that is the root cause of Hezbollah having arms. You have just given them a stronger raison d'être. You have just given them more of a reason to fight. So that's not going to work. You know? That's not going to work. Sarah, it was a pleasure meeting you. That's very kind of you. Franklin Goodwin says, if Lebanon gives up the South, what's to stop Israel from taking more? Oh, nothing. Of course. No. If Lebanon gives up the South, bro, we're fucked. Like this, that cannot be the solution. That can never be a solution. Not a single inch, not a single centimeter can be given up. Not a single fucking inch. Not for nothing.
Whatsoever.
So the Hezbollah leader here, Naim Qassem, has warned you all against confronting them. As I said, he also said these talks with Israel under U.S. auspices in the United States are a farce. And he also basically said, quote, the people have the right to take to the streets and bring down the government in confronting the American-Israeli project. Whoa, that is a direct challenge to everything you're just saying right now.
I don't want to comment on that, but let me tell you that the majority of the Lebanese people are fed up with wars.
So if that's some kind of threat.
People have the right to take to the streets and bring down the government in confronting the American-Israeli project. Whoa, that is a direct challenge.
So I mean, he's essentially saying that if you don't represent the people's will, the people can take to the streets and represent revolt. And a large majority of Lebanese people do not want to normalize relations with the Israelis. So the president knows that he's going to have a very hard time trying to convince anyone that we're going to normalize relations with Israel or we're going to be giving up land in Lebanon. But Hezbollah also can be threatening people in the government when that's not gonna do any good right now, my guy. But then you could also make the argument that, well, if Hezbollah is really the one if they're the only ones actually defending us against Israeli invasion, then shouldn't they be the ones in power, technically? But can they actually successfully, fully defend us from an Israeli invasion? No, they can't. No, they can't. They can deter them, they can make it costly, they can make it annoying, but ultimately Israel can fucking nuke us. And boom, we're gone in 5 seconds.
Well, everything you're just saying right now.
I don't want to comment on that, but let me tell you that the majority of the Lebanese people are fed up with wars. I'm seeing many of them across the board, Christian, Sunni, Jews, even Shiite. They said, we are with you. We are fed up. We need you. We need your help.
To you?
Yes, yes, exactly. I met many people from the south, and the same conversation took place. We are fed up since 1969. We want to live in peace, and they deserve to live in peace and in dignity. They deserve not seeing their homes being destroyed every 5 to 10 years. They are fed up, and they are really counting on me. And it's
But again, we need to remember, the reason why their homes are being destroyed is not because of Hezbollah, it's because of Israel. Israel is always the root cause. It is Israel firing those fucking, sending those jets. It is Israel sending those drones. It is Israel killing our Lebanese civilians. That is not Hezbollah. I know that everyone wants you and me. Sometimes I go like, God damn, I wish, why did Hezbollah have to, you know, after an Israeli strike, sometimes you'll be like, why did Hezbollah have to respond so that we get hit with a strike? But then you have to quickly, like, hey, what the fuck why did I even think that? That is the framing that they want. It is always Israel that is killing our women and children. It is Israel that is destroying our hospitals, our schools, our ruins, our nature, our animals, our activists like Muna, who's trying to save sea turtles. You know what I mean? It's just never going to end. With yesterday's events and everything, it's just like, yeah, this is going to be the whole summer, right? It's going to be the whole summer, and summer is a major touristic season in Lebanon. Lebanese businesses depend on tourists to come here and inject much needed fucking capital here in Lebanon, whether it's their Lebanese expats coming back, people coming from abroad. This guarantees that no one's going to fucking set foot in this country. What do you think that means for local businesses? What do you think that means for all sorts of businesses and restaurants? What do you think that means for local businesses and people with jobs here? Like this, it's all bad, folks. It's all bad. That's what it means.
My obligation towards my people, it's the Lebanese people that are not Naim Qasim people.
So they're Lebanese, they're not Naim Qassem's, Hezbollah's people.
Exactly.
Can I ask you, just because I see you have some images there, and we see the images on our television screens day.
Sophia Loves Monkeys, by the way, thank you for being a member. Much appreciate you. Raimi, Winter, and Kate from Canada, just saying hi to all the members here. Appreciate you guys. Also, members, stay tuned for a members live stream this week. We'll find a fun little topic to cover, and I will give you guys an update on when the next members live stream is going to take place. By the way, Nour, for patrons, Nour has successfully sent me over the file for Morning Glory Milking Farm. The file is with me, folks. I have it. It's a digital copy. Legally obtained, of course. I'll save that to my computer in a second. And I'll get to recording that Patreon video finally.
And day out, neighborhoods being flattened, medics being targeted and killed. This is by the Israeli counteroffensive, or offensive, however you want to call it. Civilians, at least 3,500 civilians in this latest round. You've got 1 million people who've been displaced. What is the toll on your own people, and what can you do about it?
Since March 2nd, more than 3,000.
Yankees fan says Hezbollah is just a code name for the Shia. Absolutely, that they're just using it to blanket. Just like Hamas is a code name for Palestinian at this point. And Yankees fan says, and let's not get it twisted, I am not a fundamentalist. The best tahara is made in Jnub. Ooh, amen. Guys, if you don't know what tahara is, by the way, in chat, it's like ouzo, you know, the Greek liquor. Ouzo, it's kind of like licorice flavored, very tasty. In Lebanon, ouzo, like in Greece, a lot of people just drink the ouzo with ice. In Lebanon, you mix the tahara with a bit of water. It turns into like this milky white, very delicious drink, very potent alcohol. The South does have some fucking bomb tahara.
500 people in Lebanon killed. On average, 13 children have been killed by Israeli every day since the escalation began.
Holy fuck, dude. 13 Lebanese kids are being killed by Israelis every day. So when you hear people go like, hey, maybe there should be some kind of peace or something, this is why we say it, not selfishly. Again, I'm not even getting harmed by any of this technically. Like, technically, I live in an area that is not getting bombed by Israelis. My job has not been affected by this because I work online. I have a YouTube channel. I have not, I don't get a pay cut. I don't get anything. In fact, I could use this war and sensationalize it and make videos out of it and content and be like, oh, look, like all eyes on Lebanon. We need help. We're at war. Please, everybody watch. And I can make it this whole dramatic thing. I am the least impacted, but I got loved ones that are impacted. I have friends, I have family, strangers. I don't have to know the people to feel bad for them. So, you know, I could very easily just sit here and be like, yeah, fuck them. Keep bombing them. Keep fucking striking the Israelis and they can hit Beirut. I don't give a shit because I'm not affected. I'm sitting out here right now, not affected by this. But does that mean I can be reckless with other people? Their safety, their home, their life savings, their life, their health. You know what I'm saying? But also, long live the resistance and fuck Israel, now and forever.
More than 10,000 people have been injured or wounded. More than 1 million people have been displaced from their homes. 20% of the population.
By the way, you guys helped raise over $30,000 to help everybody here in Lebanon, and $20,000 of that has gone to help feed the displaced. So anytime you guys are feeling a little bit down about what's happening here in Lebanon, please remind yourselves, and that money is still probably being put to good use over at Nation Station. So thank you guys so much for coming in clutch and helping Lebanon out. We've been able to help so many fucking people, so many pets, so many dogos, so many kitties. Greatest community in the game right there in this live chat.
Can you imagine that? 20% of Lebanon's population. And the population. People have been injured or wounded. More than 1 million people have been displaced from their homes. 20% of the population. Can you imagine that? 20% of Lebanon's population.
Wait, he said we've lost our homes?
More than 1 million people have been displaced from their homes. 20% of the population.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Can you imagine that? 20% of Lebanon's population. Entire family have been wiped out. This is one family, Faour family. This is the Nimr family, Hamdan family.
Yes, so again, but it seems like here the insinuation is Hezbollah took out these families, or like, you know, it's Hezbollah's fault, or Hezbollah's retaliation against Israel invited Israel's aggression. And like, no. We got to remember the people that you're sitting with at the table right now, the negotiating table, they did this, Mr. President. Of course you know that. I shouldn't correct anything. But the Israelis killed these people. And not because Hezbollah retaliated, or not because Hezbollah sent a drone, or not because Israelis, that's what they do. They kill medics. They kill families. They kill soldiers. They kill teachers. They kill university professors. They kill children. They kill women. They know what they're doing. They have the greatest spyware. They know everything that we fucking do. They know where every single target lives. They know when they're bombing a school. They know when they're bombing a militant. They know the difference. Hezbollah did this. Israel did this. The IDF did this.
Or the Red Cross. This is a funeral of 13 members of the state security. Were killed in one airstrike.
One Israeli airstrike.
Exactly.
Thank you for highlighting that it's an Israeli airstrike.
And this is 3 months old baby.
You know,
is this imminent threat?
Well, we see these kind of pictures coming out of Gaza, coming out of the occupied West Bank. We hear the Israeli defense.
But Mr. President, these are the people that you're negotiating with. The people that you're negotiating with are killing these babies and calling them an imminent threat. And you're capitulating to their... Our Lebanese representatives are walking out of these meetings being like, yeah, we agree, we got to get rid of Hezbollah. These monsters are murdering 3-month-old babies. So how did we reach the consensus that, yeah, we got to get rid of Hezbollah together. Let's hold hands and do that together. So that's what I don't understand. What is going on?
Authorities and others saying, we are going to turn this part of Lebanon into Gaza. I mean, it's said, that is what they say. Again, here we are in the presidential palace, one of the areas of Beirut that have been struck. You can feel it here in this palace, you told me, when the bombings happen. You can see it from your balcony here. Are you powerless?
As I said,
unfortunately, yes. I'll answer that for him because he can't answer that question. You can't ask a president, are you powerless? And have him say, yes, I am powerless, Mrs. Christiane Amanpour. But he is powerless. Lebanon as a whole is powerless. We are a pawn. There's no real card that we hold, you know? Militarily, we're not nearly as powerful as Israel. We don't got the funding. We don't got the backing. You know, we have Iran backing us. Israel's got the whole world backing them. The whole world might say that they hate Israel and we're all against Israel and we now recognize Palestine as a state. Okay, great. Where's your money going? Where are your weapons going? So no, he is powerless. Absolutely, 100% powerless. But he's not powerless. He does have the power to not negotiate with Israel. And when you choose to negotiate with Israel and then capitulate to all of their demands and their framing, then you are making yourself even more powerless. So I don't understand why they did that. Why would you go into negotiations with a country that is currently ethnically cleansing 20% of your land? Without even Hezbollah at the table with you to negotiate with you. So that's what I don't understand. That's what's fucking crazy to me.
Nothing is impossible. My duty, and I'm committed to save the country. I'll do whatever it takes. When there is a will, there is always a way. I'm not saying that it's very, very easy. It's easy. Can you imagine, or have you ever seen a 40 years conflict or 50 years conflict end in one day or overnight? So, but we have to struggle in order to save what's left of the country. And again, allow me to repeat that. They can flatten the whole country. They can destroy the whole country. They can invade the whole country, but they will never be able to achieve their objective. On the contrary, Hezbollah can drag the country into a protracted war, but they will never be able to achieve their objective as well. So it's about time for both sides to sit and talk.
Okay, seems like there was a follow-up question there, but that's as long as the interview that I have. Let me try to find the full thing. Dana Sufyan Ali, member for 11 months. Dana, thank you so much for being a member for 11 months. That's insane. That is so much support. Says, an embarrassing Arab traitor governments bringing embarrassment and shame. She mehrij. Aren't we used to it, though? Dude, our governments كلهم ما في حد بيسوى. Let me see if there's anything that I missed. Amanpour and Company. Why isn't the full interview here, man? I can't find the full thing. Mithy Eve says they're way worse than Ethan. Who are? By the way, Eve Gibran, who's been a member for 8 months. Thank you so much, Eve, for supporting the channel for 8 months. Says, so basically being stuck in the same shit forever or becoming Jordan/Egypt. That is our best case scenario, is becoming Jordan, Egypt. Whew, at this point, just becoming a vassal state and just becoming Israel's bitch is the best we can hope for. Or more of what's happening now. More destruction in Lebanon every single day. More people dying, etc., etc. God, it sucks. It sucks. We're lose-lose. Lebanon is lose-lose. Either be Israel and America's bitch or be at war forever and have people die forever. That is literally, those are our two options. Unless the world steps up and helps us get rid of the Israeli problem. And, like, we're fucked. We're straight up fucked. Genuinely.
Now, he rarely speaks with foreign media, but is taking this step to send a message to the world and his own people about the state of his nation. Parts of Lebanon have been severely damaged by Israeli airstrikes, as well as from Hezbollah and the Israel Defense Forces trading fire. With some shocking destruction in the capital city of Beirut, the violence has reportedly made President Trump furious. fearing attacks on Beirut could undermine any deal with Iran. So is the fate of the region and the world tied to the fate of this country? Christiane asked the man leading Lebanon, President Aoun.
President Aoun. Okay. Seems to be the same interview. This is Said Abbas Arghchi, the foreign minister of Iran. We've seen his interview, I think, wasn't he on Piers Morgan? I can't remember. But what he says is, based on Mr. Aoun's comments, one would think it's Iran that has occupied 1/5 of Lebanon, displaced 1/4 of Lebanese people, and bombing his country on a daily basis. Had Lebanon been a bargaining chip for Iran, we'd have a deal long ago. Save Lebanon from your real foe, Mr. President. أغنية حبيب شرطوني. And this is from one day ago. Lebanese state is the biggest loser as Israel and Hezbollah test ceasefire.
Let's now speak to Ronnie Chata, a political analyst and the host of Beirut.
So Ronnie, he's going to give you guys a different perspective now. He's going to give you the perspective that is completely anti-Hezbollah. I know Ronnie. I've spoken to Ronnie before. Ronnie is very anti-Hezbollah, but Ronnie has a good reason to be anti-Hezbollah. Hezbollah killed his dad. I'm sorry for saying it that way. But Ronnie's dad was a politician. I believe he was a financial minister in Lebanon. Finance minister? Who was assassinated by Hezbollah. By the political party, Lebanese political party, the wing of Hezbollah. Straight up. So he has his very own perspective. So let's see what a big part of Lebanese people feel. At least, I would say Ronnie represents a majority of like Maronite Christians. He represents a big chunk of Lebanese Christians, who a lot of you might think are like extremists, but let's see. He has a way of explaining things. So let's listen to another perspective. You guys have been listening to a lot of my perspectives and a lot of other people that are like-minded. Ronnie's someone that I very much respect, but I do also, I disagree with some of the things that he says, but also he is someone that can convince you, and he backs up everything that he says with facts. And again, he has a very unique tie to Hezbollah, literally assassinated his dad. So I'm pretty sure you guys would be very anti-Hezbollah were your parents assassinated by them.
Banyan podcast, also speaking to us from Beirut. Thank you for joining us. A very testing time there for Lebanon and its people. A ceasefire that's supposed to be in place, and yet we're still seeing those Israeli attacks. Israel, though, says it's in response to Hezbollah attacks to the northern part of Israel.
I think you're.
And he is Sunni, but like a lot of his dad was Muhammad Chata, but a lot of people in the Christian community do very much relate to what he says. So he's not Christian.
Sentiment is absolutely correct. Everyone is testing their limits, whether it's Hezbollah by launching rockets towards northern Israel, or for that matter, whether it's the Israelis, and how seriously committed they are, at least to the essence of the ceasefire that is meant to halt this type of strike and this type of destruction in southern Beirut. And I would go further. This is a test for the Iranian regime. They've previously stated that they would respond to any Israeli strike against Hezbollah in southern Beirut. So all parties that are at war in Lebanon are testing their limits, as well as diplomacy at large, and whether or not these meetings in Washington between Lebanon and Israel can produce what is hopefully a permanent ceasefire.
And you speak about diplomacy. Was it perhaps fantastical that the Lebanese government could meet in the first place with Israeli representatives through the US for these talks, when Hezbollah is a huge factor in the country and it also has a political presence?
That's absolutely correct. And I would actually add to that the wider attempt at divorcing Hezbollah from Iran, meaning separating the tracks, removing Lebanon as a battlefield for Iran and Israel, and separating Lebanon diplomatically as well from American-Iranian negotiations. the Iranian regime made Lebanon a sticking point, and that a ceasefire, at least the essence of a ceasefire, I don't know if a ceasefire is the right word to use, but a lessening of hostilities and no strikes against Beirut, that was a precondition. Going further, and I think you're absolutely right on whether or not Hezbollah can be left out of the room. The Trump administration and Trump himself alluded to some form of communication, perhaps indirectly or directly, which would be very unique.
I don't understand how any form of negotiation is taking place without Hezbollah at the table. That makes no sense. They're not going to get anywhere without talking to the people that they're fighting.
Hezbollah officials, and a reality on the ground that Hezbollah's security apparatus, Hezbollah as a military fighting force, can overwhelm any state decisions, and that has been Lebanese modern history at play. I don't know how far diplomacy will go in trying to dislodge Lebanon from this type of war. But what I do see as a positive indication in that the Lebanese sentiment, the Lebanese acceptance, if you will, of negotiations, that's a fact. And I think these negotiations will continue regardless of what could be escalation between Israel and Hezbollah.
Right, and Ronnie, what do you think will happen now? I mean, these attacks don't seem to have been huge in terms.
Memesing says a permanent ceasefire would be a non-aggression pact, not a peace treaty, yet Israel can't be trusted to follow any ceasefires, agreements, UN resolutions, international law, or any form of law. Exactly. Signing any sort of peace deal with Israel, can you imagine watching what happened in Gaza, watching how Israel killed the Palestinian peace negotiators, they killed the Iranian peace negotiators, how anytime there's any chance for peace, Israel will do something to ruin negotiations. They constantly break ceasefires. Again, 15,000 ceasefire violations in 15 months. It sounds like a made-up number. What do you mean 15,000 violations? What does that even look like? So yeah, that's also a big part of it. How can you? It's like signing a deal with the literal fucking devil. Like how do you make that happen?
Of casualties when it comes to innocent people, Israel says it's specifically targeting people it has in mind. What now for the country?
My worst fear is that the status quo that you see playing out in the coming days, weeks, even longer perhaps, would be eerily familiar to how Lebanon functioned in the 1990s. Meaning there's an acceptance of an Israeli presence in southern Lebanon, whether it's a buffer zone, security zone, yellow line, it doesn't really matter. In other words, the Israelis will stay indefinitely. And that Hezbollah as an armed entity, Hezbollah as a militia beyond Lebanese sovereignty, an illegitimate force when it comes to its weapons, as the government has expressed several times, they will remain armed as well. That status quo is really untenable. And the moment you see rockets launched in the wrong direction based on that ceasefire, you see strikes in Beirut. This can happen over and over. That's the worst case scenario for the Lebanese government, trying to prove itself capable of doing two things at once, which is very, very difficult: disarming Hezbollah and getting Israel to leave Lebanon once more. The Lebanese state is the biggest loser if the status quo becomes permanent.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate you speaking to us, Ronnie Shoutout.
If there's a permanent Israeli occupation in Lebanon, we're fucked, bro. Because you think Hezbollah is going to just sit there and fucking take it? It's going to be an endless fucking war. Hezbollah is going to respond to try to liberate the south. And anytime Hezbollah responds, Israel's going to respond in kind in Beirut. And we're going to go back. We're going to be in real deep fucking shit. And there's no sign of anything getting better right now, dude. I'm exhausted. Let's just look at this quick story and then I'm going to end the stream. My ass tired. Tomorrow there's going to be one either very long stream. I want to react to the Hassan interview with LBC. It's like a 50-minute interview. I want to watch that, and I want to do some more Lego building. I want to see some Reckless Ben updates. What is H3 up to real quick? Because I know he said he had some Reckless Ben updates. Exclusive? Why is Reckless Ben still interacting with these people? H3 podcast real quick. How many people are watching them live? What? Yo, 17K watching, huh? Rania Khalid says some Lebanese Americans protested an event at the Lebanese embassy ambassador's residence in Washington, D.C. today, accusing the Lebanese government of complicity in Israel's killings of their family in the south. This government has sold us out. Our family has been killed. Our land has been taken. My grandparents' graves have been destroyed by Israel in cooperation with the Lebanese government. You're trying to celebrate their culture while they're being ethnically cleansed. So evening at the Embassy of Lebanon residence.
You're not going to make any point. You're not going to make any points tonight.
How is this not the right place?
You're not going to accomplish anything.
How do you not have? How are you celebrating the culture while they're being ethnically cleansed and displaced right now?
This is not a cultural program. It's not meant to be this. And I think
It's not meant to be
I'm asking not to please story on
You cannot. Please
No, I'm
do
not
not
touching it, but I can also
okay?
stop recording. I'd like you to please leave. This is a private event. I'd like you to
We
leave.
were invited to this event, so
I
it's
know.
not that bad.
Who's the person invited you? Who's we? Who invited you? Somebody blank invited you. So, who invited you? Please call it secret.
Having a fancy event while your people get fucking burned, man.
Service, no, sir, you cannot come back in. Crystal. You're not.
Briarleaf says, you look tired, Anthony. Try and get a good night's rest. No offense, of course. You called me. You said I look tired. I'm very offended. No, I am. We had a long day yesterday. Did a long stream yesterday. I streamed with the boys, Comrade Casey and James, at 12, starting at 12 a.m., finished at 2 a.m. Didn't sleep till 4. Woke up today, did a quick little stream with Demi. We built half of that beautiful mushroom set, which I'm honestly fucking dreaming of like building now, but I think we made a little mistake, so I've been thinking about fixing one of the pieces. I'll take it to the room and we'll fix it together. She's still here, actually. I just want to go and spend some time with Demi. She made some delicious chocolate chip cookies, so we're gonna sit there, eat some cookies, watch some TV before we go to bed. Let's just quickly finish this video. But I am tired. Thank you for noticing, Briar. It's nice, guys. Us streamers, us celebrities, we're humans too. We get tired, you know? And it's 1 a.m. right now. I am going to be streaming. Normally, the plan is to stream earlier. My plan was to stream this stream earlier in the day, but I wanted to spend the time with Demi and build some Lego with her, so I switched around the schedule. We built the Lego first, and now I'm doing this now. So I was just trying to... trying to fix the day to spend more time with her. Oh, Irene says, bro, you can be tired. You're still doing a great stream. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's finish this little story here. Okay, so we saw this video.
Celebrate the culture. Celebrate the culture. This is the wrong.
The culture is being ethnically cleansed right now. How are you going to enjoy the culture that's being erased? How are you going to enjoy the culture that's being erased?
Listen, this is not a place for this.
How is it not a place for this?
This is not a political statement.
How is it not? This is not political. Everything about
We're
this
just here to have a good time. We're here to have a good time. We're not here for this time.
We're here to have a good time. We're not here for this shit. Good argument, man. That'll get people on your side. Dana Sufianati sends a $2 super chat. Well, thank you so much, Dana. Says, had to get food. Why couldn't you sleep well? Yesterday, I know it's not that I couldn't sleep well, but I slept very late. And I mean, I slept at 4, woke up at around like 10. So that's like 6 hours of sleep. Not much sleep. I took a little nap during the day, but like not enough to make up for. I don't get that much sleep. I think most men, you know, we'd be lucky to get like 6 hours of sleep. Shit, you know, 7 at most.
You guys are like fools. Just relax. Everybody's here to have a good time. Celebrate the culture.
This guy's really like offended.
Who was the ambassador sitting with? Yeah. Go meet with the Israelis. Go meet with the Israelis. Stop messing up everybody else. Stop messing up everybody else. Stop messing up everybody else.
Our family has been killed. Our family has been killed. Our land has been taken. My grandparents' graves have been destroyed by Israel in cooperation with the Lebanese government.
What, really? Nogzolato says, did you see Adam McIntyre gave you a shout out on your coverage of Denim's lawsuit while he was also live covering Denim's lawsuit? Really? He did? If someone could send me a time code, would love to see that. 15 months fly fast. Wait, was that 15 months ago that he gave that shout out? I mean, shit, look, Adam McIntyre is cool, man. He's had a lot of unfair shit from Ethan. I used to say that I wasn't a big Adam McIntyre fan before. But I mean, shit, if he's shouting out the show, if you're showing some love to the community, shit, you know. I just felt he always got into a lot of shit. You know, it got into a lot of, like, drama and stuff. Myth Eve says he did. Oh, really? It's recent? Oh, we got to watch that. We got to watch that. Come on. Come on. Also, We had Hassan. Okay, let's just do a couple of little fun things and then we'll be done. Hassan was rereading my old beef with Amanpour yesterday. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Becoming the president and all of the
I was literally taking a shit yesterday on the toilet. I was watching the end of this.
Insanity every single day in, day out, regardless of where I am in the on the planet. I was in Japan, I was traveling. They would just come in and be like, why don't you react? Suing uploaded his video in good faith. They definitely reacted to the video to criticize Ethan. They would just come in.
I'm on the pooper. I'm just watching the video.
And be like, why don't you react? Are you too pussy to react? What is this? This is a back and forth. Honest question. Do you think that the girls he's suing uploaded his video in good faith? They definitely reacted.
I'm like, who's this handsome guy on Twitter? I'm like, he's reading my tweet. He's rereading my argument with Amanpour. As Amanpour and I were arguing about the lawsuits, and obviously I ended up being right. Obviously I was vindicated. Should I remind Amanpour that he just ate shit?
The video to criticize Ethan, but I do not believe they reacted to it with the express purpose of stealing views and revenue. Frogan was a big part of the content.
I mean, Hassan has acknowledged the podcast before. He has acknowledged he's reacted to one of my clips before. So I mean, he knows of our existence. That's as much as it is. But like, I was just it's random. You're just taking a shit. Like, oh, here I am on Hassan's stream. Isn't that fun? Adam mentions you right away. Really? Okay, I gotta find that. Guys. I'll find that, then I'll end the stream. How about that? Adam, so it's from Thursday's stream. He streams on Twitch or YouTube? YouTube, right? Thursday stream. We gotta find it, folks. We're gonna find him. Adam McIntyre. Ooh, I want to watch Hassan reacting to the Denims lawsuit stuff too. Tomorrow's gonna be a pop-in stream. Okay, live. Okay, no, so he doesn't stream. He streams on Twitch, I guess, huh? It's on his YouTube channel. Oh, it's on his YouTube channel. Okay, Twitch, but he has VODs. Okay, let's go back to the VODs. So Thursday, you said? Denims, Ethan Klein's major loss in Denims lawsuit. Let's go.
We are Guardian! We're all... I'll leave it there.
I need to get my live chat to look like this. I need to get my live chat to look like his does. I got to figure that out on OBS tomorrow. Fuck it. I'm doing it tomorrow.
We'll keep it safe with, we are Ethan Klein. We sue women. And sometimes we get an L because, hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we are going to talk about the huge update in the Ethan Klein Denims lawsuit. Now, you know that we have been following this meticulously and watching every update. And let me tell you, we have a good story for you today on Hot Topics. We have a good story for you today because a federal judge has basically handed Ethan like a major loss in the tentative ruling of the lawsuit. So let's give it up for that. Let's give it up.
Lawsuits. I like how he says lawsuit.
For that, let's give it up for Ethan Klein being humble, everyone. And we're going to go through it all. Ethan Klein, who has been living on the back of fucking suing everyone with zero repercussion or pushback. It looks like in this tentative ruling, the judge is pushing back and not really wanting to do the lawsuit the way that Ethan Klein wants. And you know what? Give it up for Denims, everyone. Give it up for Denims because Denims has been going through hell. And Denims is like, we are Denims. You know what I mean? Like, truly, Denims has been fighting this so hard. And I can't even imagine how stressful and how heavy this has been sitting on. Remember when, I have the notes here. Do you remember in 2017 or 20, remember when, but she's been fighting it and she's been doing a tremendous job. And let me tell you something.
Does anyone know around when he does the mention? This isn't the video?
Remember when, I have the notes here. Do you remember in
Do I have the wrong video?
2017 or 2016, I think it was, when Ethan and Ela were sued by Matt Haas over a reaction critique video that they made about his sketch, and he alleged that there was copyright infringement and defamation. Well, in 2017, a U.S. federal judge actually ruled in Ethan and Hila's favor, finding that their video was fair use. The key reasons were that it was transformative, Klein, and such a hypocrite because he does the same thing to Dan, transforming the content. Dan wasn't blah, 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 to react. Remember when he was like, why won't Hassan react to this? Why won't Hassan react to this? Why won't Hassan react to this? Ethan wasn't transforming the content. Dan wasn't blah, 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 about all these people, right? Yes or no? Was Ethan Klein begging people to react? Remember when he was like, why won't Hassan react to this? Why won't Hassan react to this? Why won't Hassan react to this? Why won't... It's not smart to set someone up that you're going to sue them for reacting to the content whenever you're literally begging people to react to it. You know why? Because the content cop came and went. Do you remember even when the LA fires were happening, Ethan Klein posted a photo of him editing this Hassan thing? This was his life. This was his life. And he's now, suing.
Have I been cut out, folks?
He was suing Casey Tron, Frogan, Denims, about them reacting to the content cop. He's saying that it wasn't transformative, that they were basically stealing this content.
Lemon and Cat, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you being in the chat and part of the community. Have a good night.
From him. And so basically this lawsuit has been ongoing for a long time. It's been ongoing for a long time. So let's get into it. Let's get into it, shall we? Also, just want to say I'm vlogging every single day, linked down below. I'm having a lot of fun over there. And also I'm doing a show in Toronto, July and Nour. Use thread, first of all, okay? Today's feel-good copyright law. President's face on a landmark copyright ruling started. Even me, I would be like hypocrite. And really for fair use concludes that the fair use defense applies.
Oh, in the middle.
On Denim
okay.
showing nearly the entire video. The preliminary thoughts analysis. Now again, just from a
we'll
critique
stop
of
when I find myself.
Defense. All right, now Ms. Judge Snark. Relatively, that's in passing. Thing, arguing that the judge that fucking the chat, and I've got to go. Ethan's own filings about the logs had been disputed facts over plea.
Okay, so I need help actually. So people are saying search the transcript. How? So here's what happens when I search in transcript. How do I get access to the whole thing? Oh, search transcript. Does he say do not worry? Okay, Anthony? Nope. DNW? Nope. Lebanon? Nope. Lebanese? No. Y'all lying to me? It's the VOD. Ethan Klein's are angry at him. Oh, okay, let's see. Ethan Klein fans are angry? Okay.
Ethan L. Denims W. I know that's right. I know that's right. Celebrations on the channel tonight. So anyways, we have another update whenever it comes to the Ethan lawsuit. So I'm currently live and I have my DMs that I have where people normally, whenever I go live, people normally start sending me stuff and I look after. But this one stream has been sent to me a lot. And it's from the Do Not Worry podcast. And it's about Denims winning the tentative ruling. Now, I know that this podcast stays on Ethan's ass. And so people sent me that they have a 10-minute section, I think it is, on Denims winning. And so I want to go through it together because everyone was like, please watch this. And what I go, aye, Captain.
Yo, let's go. Okay. Listen. We got to do it. A quick heart. And a quick military salute. Is that the only salute? What? I like how I'm known for always being on Ethan's ass. That's kind of cool. Boom, there you go. There we go. Awesome. Thank you guys for letting me know.
When the muckers want me to watch something. So again, if you have not seen, we basically covered the new lawsuit update. It is
news yesterday. The opposite. It just opened the judge's eyes to how much. Awesome. All right, look at that.
Alexa take over.
Mr. Adam McIntyre, thank you. Whatever negative thing that I ever may have said about you in the past, forget it. We love you, sir. Okay, guys, it's been a fun little stream. Tomorrow, I'm going to figure out what to do tomorrow. There is the Hassan Piker LBC stream. There's Hassan Piker reacting to Denim's victory that I think could be very interesting. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to react to, a lot of Lego to build, a lot of video games to play, just a lot of streaming that I got to do, folks. So thank you to everybody who came in tonight. Thank you for IDF Kills Children for gifting that membership. To everybody who sent in a nice little super chat, we appreciate you. We love you. I will see you guys tomorrow for many streams. To the, they're called muckers, to the muckers, to the Adam McIntyres, the fans, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you, everybody who told them to watch the stream. Everybody, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your day. We love you. And as always, do not worry.